Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We got a little something special for you guys. The last episodes of The Last Dance are coming up. And so with that in mind, we've got an interview that we've been sitting on for a couple of years that we decided to break out for you. Our guest, he was a former captain of the basketball team at Princeton, and he also runs the largest minority-owned mutual fund in the country. But, we got him all because he beat Michael Jordan in a game of one-on-one. His name is John Rogers Jr. Now, John, I want to make sure I've gotten this right. You played Michael Jordan in one-on-one at flight school in Vegas in 2003, and you won.
It was a miracle, but it happened.
You call it a miracle. I get the feeling, though, that like what LeBron did the other night where he could walk through every play of that sequence in the fourth quarter, I feel like you could do that with your one-on-one game of Michael Jordan, who, by the way, that year did play in the NBA.
I know, just right. It was his last year in the NBA, and I have it on YouTube, and so I Google it frequently, and, it perks me up to be able to watch it.
Now, when you say you have it on YouTube, are you the person who posted it on YouTube, or did somebody else?
The Wall Street Journal actually posted it. They were doing a story on our firm, and that's what got the publicity going.
How tired are your friends and family of hearing about the time you beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one?
Well, I think my friends and family are tired of it. I used to, in the old days before you could Google it, I used to carry around the tapes and, CDs and have people watch it. So
You're not exaggerating when you say that, are you?
No. At least I don't have to do that anymore.
Tell you, I feel like even if you don't have to do it anymore, you beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one, you get to tell every single person about it. I got way lesser stories that I tell everybody about.
It's been a lot of fun. People stop me on the street now and want to talk about it. Whenever I go and speak somewhere, someone asks a question about it. It just seems like it's had a life of its own.
Now, how did that go? What made you I would be intimidated about being at that camp and thinking I'm going to play Michael Jordan in one-on-one. So what was going through your mind when you were like, okay, I'll go do this?
Well, I'd been going to the camp for 4 years, and I kind of decided that was my last year. And he had played about 15 campers that day by the time I raised my hand, and I just sort of did it on the spur of the moment, thinking, well, I'll probably never have another chance to do this, so why don't I go for it?
How badly did he do the rest of the campers?
Well, he killed everyone, usually. But what he would often do is he would let people make a basket or two, and then he would clamp down and just destroy them, go by them and dunk the ball, make every shot, block their shots. Damon Wayans, the comedian, was there, and he just embarrassed Damon. But, I think I had a little bit of an advantage because by the time he'd played all those other campers, he was tired. And I think because he had never lost in the 7 years of the camp, he was, overconfident and tired.
Now, was there a moment where you felt like, okay, now I've got my chance?
No, I was just, because everyone always lost to him, I just assumed, that I would never have the good fortune to be the first one to beat him at camp. And, I was just remembering, I can't believe this actually worked out.
Now, was there a moment where it seemed clear that he realized, oh, wait a minute, I might lose? Because he can't stand to lose at anything, to anybody.
Well, the one thing you could tell, the last shot, typical Michael, again, he clamped down on the last shot, and he just barely misses blocking it, just by a fingertip. And you can hear him say on the video, if you listen carefully, he says, oh, no, while the ball is still in the air, because he knew it was going to go in.
He didn't try to play you again? I figure you can't leave until Jordan gets his win.
Well, he told friends and colleagues afterwards that he was going to have me back to the camp, get me on the court, and show me what it's like to be in the NBA.
He said it just like that, I imagine.
He did, and I ran into him a few times over the years, and he's become more and more gracious about it, and kind of kind to me, and he chuckles with me and whoever I'm talking with, so it's all good.
Yeah, because the thing with Jordan that everybody talks about is he doesn't let anything go. I know a story of a woman that he was interested in who was not interested in return in 1984. In the new millennium, he sees her and is like, I remember who you are.
Yeah, well, he doesn't forget this because I think a lot of people ribbed him. And at the camp, Damon Wayans, went up on the front of the whole camp and said, "Take down the posters of Jordan and replace him with Rodgers now." And he didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, you had to be the king of the camp after that, though, right?
It was pretty cool. John Thompson interviewed me on his radio show, and there's a lot of video of everyone from Coach K to other great coaches, sort of talking about how unique and how unusual it was. Some of it was tongue in cheek. I mean, they all knew that it was a fluke. I mean, everyone knew that if he played me another 100 times, he would beat me 100 times in a row. There's no doubt about it.
Now, for you, though, just generally the camp, what's the experience? Because I imagine it here as a collection of, really rich dudes who want to be able to play with Michael Jordan, and then cats like you who, played some ball in college and were able to get in there, and now this is kind of a chance, not even to live a dream necessarily, but just to play with Michael Jordan.
It was a very, very cool camp, to do it in Vegas. The best coaches in the world, were there, again, the Coach K's of the world, and all the Roy Williams and the people who coached, Mike Izzo, everybody you can think of, Tom Izzo, all the best coaches in the world were there. So you could actually have a chance to play for your favorite coach if you were fortunate enough to get picked on their team. I mean, Jack Ramsey coached me one year. Again, Coach K coached me one year. So that was really the special part for me, the chance to compete again. There were people like, Mark Cuban was there. You found fun people like that, who could play, but he was a really, really rich guy. And then, some players who had played in college, some who played in high school, others who you could tell were like the best guys at their health club. They'd found non-conventional games that worked for them at their hometown gym.
Now, are you the guy, because I see that you do the mutual fund work, are you the guy that was on the business school intramural team that would wind up in the finals against the football team and ultimately win when you were in graduate school?
Well, I'm the least educated in my family. I didn't go to graduate school or business school. But the one fun thing is that after college, a bunch of us got involved with the Hoop It Up 3-on-3 tournaments. After we won the Shoot the Bull 3-on-3, people like Craig Robinson, who was a star at Princeton, Michelle Obama's brother.
That's what I was about to say. He's got some famous family, I hear.
Exactly. He stayed with me on his recruiting visit to Princeton, and we were teammates one year, and never dreamed one day his sister would be the first lady of the United States. But we would go around the country with Arnie Duncan and other former Princeton players. Arnie played at Harvard, but most of the guys played at Princeton, and we would play 4 or 5 tournaments a year. And it was really, really fun, and we would win. The Princeton basketball system is perfect for 3-on-3 basketball. And bringing it full circle to now, years and years later, we've got some younger Princeton guys playing, and they're actually in Russia right now to play in a FIBA-sanctioned 3-on-3 tournament. Last weekend in China, they beat the best 2 teams in the world from Serbia. So it's been fun to watch these young guys take over. Dan McGrady's and Kareem Maddox, who played at Princeton, Craig Moore, who played at Northwestern but then coached at Princeton, and Damon Huffman, who played for Craig at Brown. They've been sort of the cornerstone of our team, and they've done extraordinarily well.
Hold on, John, I can't let you slide for this. Y'all out here running the Princeton offense in the Hoop It Up 3-on-3 tournament.
Yeah, it's been really, really neat. Coach Krill actually came to one of the tournaments we won and watched us and gave us tips on things we could do better. He's been quite proud of the way the Princeton system works in 3-on-3 basketball.
Y'all don't play zone, do you?
No, of course.
Okay.
We play 1-on-1, but it's like the modern day. You spread the court and you only shoot threes and layups.
I'm with you. We would just have to draw the line at playing zone. I get it, the Princeton offense is motion and everything. At zone, I'd just be like, you guys are taking this to a place it's not supposed to go to. We could not have that. Now, also, I guess it's interesting with Princeton basketball now, also with Steve Mills. You guys are everywhere now. Steve Mills, the GM of the Knicks.
Yeah, Steve is a great, great friend. We were teammates for 2 seasons, along with Dave Blatt. And, so I'm a huge Knicks fan, and I see Steve and talk to Steve all the time. He's actually on the board of directors of Ariel Mutual Funds. And, he's an extraordinary leader, and you could see that even when we were playing, what kind of a leader he was. And it was fun. Just last week, Steve and I were on the phone with Coach Krill after a board meeting, catching up with Coach. And Coach was still remembering a big rebound. Steve got in traffic. that, convinced Coach that Steve was a winner, and a man, and was tough, And it was really a special kind of conversation last week.
Now, you mentioned taking the 3-on-3 team around, that Arnie Duncan was a guy that was on the team. Is he the ringer? Because I feel like if you didn't realize that Arnie Duncan, former Secretary of Education, was the guy playing ball all the time, he's the one that somebody's sticking on the team like, nah, we'll be good, and then he comes out and hoops everybody up.
Well, the story there is I went to the same high school as Arnie, and I grew up with Arnie. I've known him since he was 10 years old, and you could tell he was going to be a great player when he was a little guy because he could see everything. He had great vision, and he loved to play. And so we've always wanted him on our team. He's the guy you want on our team. Arnie and I are being honored by the National Association of Basketball Coaches Foundation with some of the proceeds going to the Obama Library. And it's just been kind of cool that Arnie and I have become state best friends for, now it's going on over 40 years.
Now, have you played ball with Obama?
We've played a lot over the years, way before he was even a state senator. And so and then got to play in Camp David, and it's just been a remarkable journey to feel a part of the extraordinary Obama story.
Now, how much noise was he talking back in the day on the court? Because he seems to talk plenty now.
Yeah, he was always very confident with his game and always talking.
Is that confidence merited, in your opinion? Is it in line with actual performance?
He was a very, very good player, but I remember once when his brother-in-law got inducted into the Mount Carmel Hall of Fame, and one of the students asked him, who's better, your brother-in-law or you? And Craig was like, I would kill my brother-in-law. Craig was like, I got drafted by the 76ers. I played Division I basketball. But his brother-in-law is a classic tweener. Brock, understands the game very, very well. Great passer, has got a great shot, but he's that classic tweener.
I also feel like Obama's one-loss record probably improved in the last 10 years in his one-on-one contests. I could be wrong here.
Well, he did often get the best guys on his team. He would get Arnie on his team and Reggie Love on his team, and sometimes you felt like the odds were a little stacked against you. But he's a winner. I've seen him make big shots under pressure. Even from one sport to another, if he's not good at something, he became a great golfer. He became a great bowler, and he was always a very, very good basketball player. Even if he was a little bit left-handed, you could always feel like he was always going to be going to his left a little bit.
All right, now last question for you. I know that you stopped attending the flight school camp after you had beaten Michael Jordan. Jordan stopped playing campers after you beat him. Would you play Michael Jordan again if he challenged you to a game of one-on-one?
No, there's no way. No way at all.
I was about to say, there's no way. If you said that you would, I would say you are far more competitive than there is for your own good. I would just try to invite myself places with Michael Jordan so I can tell people, hey, Mike, come over here. Hey, guys, this is Michael Jordan, that dude I told you about I beat him one-on-one that one time.
Oh, it's been such an adventure, but I would not rub it in because, again, I know he would kill me if we ever played again.
Right, but you're not going to play him again, so rub it in. Like, nobody else gets to rub. When's the last time anybody could rub anything in when it came to Michael Jordan? You are our spirit animal in this regard, John Rogers. You have to do it for us.
Well, yeah. Well, you're kind to say that, but I understand that, it wouldn't be appropriate. But, thank God for YouTube and the ability to Google these types of things. It sort of makes it last in history, which has been fun.
All right. That is John Rogers, Jr. He is the founder and CEO of the nation's largest minority-run mutual fund. And if you run up on him, he's got a DVD in his bag of the time he beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one. Thanks so much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. My man Gabe Bassain handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Also, thank you to John Rogers Jr. for joining us. Subscribe to The Right Time. Rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. And I'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.
Thanks for checking out The Right Time with Bomani Jones podcast.
You can listen or subscribe on the ESPN app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Right Time
with Bomani Jones.